make you feel comfortable that we've got less than 1% of the air marshals out there doing their jobs that they're supposed to be doing since, I don't know, the last 21 years, since 9/11?
Absolutely. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. And less than 1%, it's supposed to be to 7 times more than that.
Wow.
We've got to have these people anonymously flying on these flights. We've had incidents. There have been incidents. People have tried to get into the cabins on airliners. There was one the other day that where someone somehow or another got a straight razor and held it to the throat of a fellow passenger. And we don't have air marshals that are flying on there because of the outrageous disaster unfolding that has been unfolding for 2 years on our southern border because of Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas. It is just simply outrageous that they would not be protecting and letting these air marshals do their mission, to do their job, sending them down there to babysit on the border. Just completely mind-boggling that they would be that short-sighted.
Brian, I don't know how budgets work and command there with the systems in the swamp, but if Joe directs the Homeland Security to do this, which they're doing, when Republicans take over, is there any recourse? I know that you guys hold the purse strings, but you don't want to pull their budget because you still want them doing a job, but they're doing a job they're not supposed to be doing. So how can Republicans in January turn the tide and put these air marshals back in the air where they belong and not down at the border? I know we're going to work on trying to seal the border, and I'm not saying I don't want them down there, but it's not what they're supposed to be doing.
You're exactly right. And then it's not a matter of if, Dan, it's a matter of when we're going to be attacked again with another terrorist attack. Let's hope it's not near as devastating as what we saw on 9/11. But to leave us open to these types of attacks on airliners, and quite frankly, to leave us open because of an open border. We've had dozens and dozens of people that were on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended, and how many have not been apprehended?
Right, over 100 apprehended. Yeah,
absolutely, over 100 of them. And we've had a 600% increase in what we call special interest migrants in the year 2022. This year, these are potential national security risks.
Can Republicans do anything though, Brian? I'll ask it again. Can you guys do anything in January, though, to switch it back? Or does Joe have ultimate power to direct the Homeland Security to do this?
Well, Dan, we will raise holy Cain about it. We will ask questions. We will make demands. But he controls the bureaucracy. And sadly, we can try to hold them accountable budget-wise. But as you said, to cut the budget of the air marshals would be just insane.
Yeah, you guys will look horrible. I get it. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You cut their budget. I get it. Let's move on to the other one. What do you think about? Yep, sorry, Brian. I know you're short on time and they're wrapping me in my ear. The advisory bulletin by another corrupt agency, thanks to Joe Biden and bureaucrats. Department of Homeland Security as well here. Now they send out the advisory bulletin. We know the DOJ did this a while back with the parents going to school board meetings. They sent out an advisory. Now you got this department on board as well. What do you make of that advisory? Because to me, it looks like political witch hunt.
That is all it is. This is the way the Democrats operate. This is the way Marxists operate. And that is to try to divide the people up. They want to scare and intimidate folks by saying that there's racism, that there is all this horrible terrorism behind, white supremacists, these types of things, just to divide the American people up. Democrats are very adept at doing so. We know that's not true. We know the history in Virginia and what happened there when people came to ask questions about their children's curriculum at their local school boards. And we saw some of these school boards, they teamed up with the FBI and sicked the FBI and the DOJ on parents. And I have seen absolutely zero evidence of any kind of domestic terrorism when it comes to what they're talking about. We know that the terrorism that we have, the danger that lies there, are coming across the border, coming into our airports. People who come in as refugees and unvetted. We saw the complete debacle of the Afghanistan withdrawal. When we left thousands of allies and hundreds of Americans behind, and then didn't vet the Afghan refugees properly. And we know that a lot of these Afghan refugees that came in are unvetted and potential terrorist threats themselves. This Biden administration, Dan, is simply putting all of America at risk. Our national security risks are way, way up. The communist Chinese know, and they have used propaganda to try to divide us from our allies, and simply by pointing at the fact that the withdrawal from Afghanistan was such a debacle that we can't be counted on by our allies, and the communist Chinese are capitalizing on that. Yep. And so the Biden administration, the most incompetent in history. I'm telling you, I hope that the American people will wake up and see exactly what is going on. It's just a matter of time before we have another terrorist attack, and I'm talking real terrorism, not made up boogeymen that the Democrat Party comes up with.